know how some countries have required military service?
Mm-hmm.
I think that our country should have required hospitality service. Like, you should have to do time as a waitress or a host or a bartender or
compulsory service.
Yeah, as something that in front of house too. Like, you have to deal with the general public is like the main point of this, because I really think a lot of people would be a lot nicer if they have had a serving job in the past.
Yeah, I've like walk a mile in my shoes. I mean, just the standing for fucking 12 hours alone can really fuck up your day.
I mean, just like the physical aspect of it, and the fact that only in America are you not allowed to sit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, if you go to Europe and go to the grocery stores, all their checkers are sitting because there's absolutely no reason that you can't do that job sitting down.
I got in trouble once I was bartending at this place, and I my knees are all fucked, and so I'd been working a lot, and it was early and nobody was in the bar, and so I went and I sat, and my manager came in and fucking yelled at me.
That's like honestly the dumbest thing. Also, like, do you want my body to wear out faster so you have to replace me faster? Like, what is
They don't fucking care.
Like, there's no logic behind it. Like, I think that's like the dumbest rule. But yeah, like that, and then just having to deal with customers. Like,
oh yeah,
there's nothing worse than the general public.
People are such assholes. I had a guy one time, he like snapped to get my attention, and I stopped and I like looked behind me and I looked back at him and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I assumed there was a cute little woodland creature behind me, because you wouldn't snap to get the attention of a human being, because that's fucking rude.
I do love that there's very few places in the world, possibly only in New York, that you get away with talking to customers like that. It does fulfill, like, I've worked food service both in Los Angeles and around California, and then in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is something satisfying about being able to, I mean, it depends on the place you work. You have to be in the right sort of place in New York City. No fine dining.
No, this is a dive bar.
Yeah, but
this is a dive bar person here.
But there is something satisfying about only in New York do you get to, like, at least back talk.
Yeah, it was funny because, like, during the pandemic, where I work now, it was closed for, like, 100 years. Like, I wasn't sure it was going to reopen. So I asked a friend of mine who has, like, a nice, like, mixology place, like, if he would hire me. And he was like, well, and I was like, listen, motherfucker. And he was like, you would be great. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm saying I don't know if you could control yourself and not curse at the customers, because you can't do that here. And I was like, oh, so that little outburst really didn't do me any favors there.
Yeah, that really sealed that deal for you.
I was like, oh, I didn't think about that yet.
Yeah. Have to have a good, like, superior, like a manager or GM above you who will support you. Otherwise, like, customer's always right bullshit, which is not the case if you've worked in
customer is rarely right. Rarely. And
Rarely.
It's like, it's so funny to me, because as a bartender, people will be like, do you know how to make this? And it's like the only job where someone comes in and is like, do you know how to do your job? Let me explain to you how to do your job.
Let me tell you how to do it.
And like, it's just, I don't fucking show up at your office, bitch, and tell you how to make a fucking spreadsheet. Like,
yeah. Do you have a, like, worst customer story? I mean, I have one, but do you have, like, one that immediately pops into your head as, like, the worst customer experience you've ever dealt with?
I have several. Yeah, the snapping one really annoyed me. I had one guy ask me, it's like 3 deep at the bar, and there were like some tables or whatever, and he asks me to go clean his table for him. And I was like,
do a quick 360, take a look at your surroundings, and reevaluate what you just said to me.
I handed him a rag, and he was like, oh, I have to do it? There's no one else working here? And I was like, yeah, there's a guy downstairs. I'm running around like a crazy person for my health. Yeah. No, nobody else is here. And he left, and this little guy that was like sitting at the bar that I was like yelling over was like, and I looked at him and I was like, his drink order was going to be super fucking annoying anyway. I had someone try to explain to me how to make a Negroni, and she like forgot half the ingredients. And I was
should have just made it the way she said.
I was like, do you want a Negroni or do you want that?
Yeah.
She was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, Negroni also has this and this. So do you want a Negroni or do you want what you said?
Yeah.
I can make either. I don't care.
Yeah. Like one of the corporate restaurants I worked at, I had this table of like 10 women, and who just like the minute they sat down, I just knew they were going to be a problem, and just like complained about
like it's like gaydar but for bad customers.
Yeah.
Like after a while you get it and you're like, oh no, please leave.
Yeah. And I was like, at first it was like, there's 10 of them, so I'm like, autograd, okay, like I can just get them in and out as fast as possible. And immediately like their drinks were too cold. Then like food was too hot. They like didn't want to wait for it to cool. Like crazy.
My drinks are too cold. My food is too hot. All right, Goldilocks.
Like literally.
Get the fuck out of here.
Literally. Then they were like, my manager was like, I'm putting autograt on. I was just like, please, for the love of God, do not put autograt because they were gonna pitch a fit. Like I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not fair to you. He puts it on. Immediately asked to speak to a manager, and I was like, I told you, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I'm
like,
so done.
Now it's your problem, motherfucker.
So then he, like, had to deal with him and had to take it off and, like, comped a whole bunch of other stuff off of it. So then they finally leave, and he's like, I'm just going to comp the rest of the bill so that, like, it shows as a negative so that, like, when you cash out at the end of the night, you're getting tipped off this table.
Oh, so that's nice.
Yeah, so I was basically making like $100 off this table that I probably, like, if I was lucky, was gonna make 15 off of.
Yeah.
So he was like, just because you had to deal with
this. Because you went to war?
Literally. So then, I swear to God, like 20 minutes later, I see the GM of the restaurant talking to this group of women, and I'm like, oh dear God. And I immediately run and get my manager. I was like, something's happening. I think we need help. And so then he marches over with me and is like, what's going on? And they're like, see, so she had printed out the receipt and it showed a negative balance. And they were like, see, they ripped us off. They owe us more money, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, just standing there like, no, you dumbasses. Like, so my manager steps up and is like, actually, I comped the rest of the bill so that I could tip my server out because she gets paid by tips. Like, she doesn't get paid by, like, her, like, $4 an hour.
I mean, that's the thing. It's a different minimum wage for if you work, like, tip jobs.
It depends what state you work in.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
Yeah,
but
like, California, it was minimum wage and, like, period. Like, you, like, that was it.
Yeah,
but you got
like
taxed out of it. I don't know about here.
I think here it's a different minimum wage. It's like a server's minimum wage.
I know New Mexico randomly has like the lowest in the country. Like theirs is like $1.25 or something like that.
It's so stupid. Like that's the reason. I mean, that's why like all the servers in Europe are like, no, you don't have to tip me because they make good money.
Granted, like anybody who works with customers again should just be like paid well.
Yeah.
But like, say you work in like fine dining, like a lot of those places, like they're getting like paid a higher amount because like it's a skilled service.
Yeah. Like a lot of those people are salaried because they have to like know shit.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like New York is pretty notorious too for like hiring like under the table, so it's like you're basically like a freelancer. So like you don't get paid hourly, you just get paid like the money you make on your shift.
Yeah, like I definitely worked one of those jobs when I first got here. It was like a $30 cash shift pay.
Yeah.
And then whatever you made.
Yeah. But some of the like creative bookkeeping and like things that would happen at like mom and pop places.
Yeah.
Like looking back, like I remember we
like,
had
that's not fucking legal.
like so annoying.
Oh well.
Like I remember one of the places I worked at, the manager would, so like he was getting paid more to be a manager, right? He had like
Yeah.
managerial duties that went along with the job, and then so he got paid more.
Yes.
But when none of the other managers were there, he would take tables, which meant he was taking tables away from servers like me.
Oh, so he's like, because he just wants more money.
Because he wants more money, yeah. And we'd be like, you can't do that. Like, that was my table. Like, like especially when it would be slow.
Oh, yeah, what the
And
hell?
you're like, what do you, like, that's so greedy. Like, you're already making more money. Like, I'm sorry that it's not enough. Like, that's a different conversation that needs to be had.
That's not my fucking problem.
Like, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. We don't make enough money. But I am also, like,
not making
less
a lot of
than
money.
you. So, kindly fuck off.
Yeah, get out of my face. Seriously, that's super fucked up.
Yeah, and he was like one of the nicest managers too. I remember one time I was like, had to work and had been out the night before and was like tired and hungover, and it was like, went into the walk-in and was like, I'm gonna have a fucking beer. It's noon and like I'm gonna like, I'm the only person, like I'm bartending and serving.
This
like
is what's happening.
This is what's
This
happening.
is what needs to happen right now.
And literally I'm cracking it. And the walk-in door opens, and it's that manager, and I just went and finished opening it and handed it to him. And he took it and walked back out and didn't say a word.
He's like,
And I was
okay.
like, huh. All right, good. We're totally on the same
Oh my
page
God.
here.
Also, just like special like spot of hell that you give yourself when you have to open a bar
Yeah.
when you're hungover. Like, you're just like, why did last night me hate today me so much? Because it's just all the smells that you do not want to smell,
No.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
And I remember I was like, I had a Gatorade, an iced coffee, and then a little thing of like tequila that I was like sipping on. Like just like a little shot glass of it.
Yeah.
And someone like came in, it was like the first customer, and was like, I know exactly what kind of day you're having. And I'm like, one of these things is gonna fix me, and I have no idea which one it is.
Yeah.
But it's one of them.
Something is gonna work.
And something has to happen.
And those are always like the shifts that just will not end.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I was on vacation, and when I came back, because I hadn't worked in so long, it's like, you know, there's like moments where you like look up and you're like, oh fuck, like I looked up too early at the clock.
Yeah.
But, like it's only been 3 hours or whatever.
Right.
I hadn't even been there for an hour.
Oh God.
And I was like, well, this is gonna be,
This is the night we're having.
this is gonna be a bummer for me.
Everywhere I worked, like, our shifts were not that as long as the shifts that you have. Like,
I mean, the
Really?
shift technically is only 8 hours, but you have to get there to open, and then, like, you have your closing paperwork, and, like, yeah, you can do it really fast,
Yeah.
but you're tired. Like, it might be 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
I
Like,
mean, honestly, in LA, most serving shifts are 4 hours.
the place that I used to work had even longer shifts. Because
Well,
you had to
that-
get there at 6:30, and we were open till 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 hours. Fuck.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like that also goes hand in hand of if you're working like mom and pop
Yeah.
or you're working corporate, like, and like you're already there. Sometimes I just feel like that's when I would like pick up doubles. I'm like, I'm already
you're
here.
here.
Or I had the opposite, like we'd be in like a shift meeting and they'd be like, who wants to go home? My arm would just like
Yeah,
shoot
you're like,
up.
I
I'm
have
like,
no problem with that.
I'm like, I don't know why I keep doing this. Like, I need these shifts. But
Yeah.
like immediately I'm like, send me home. Send me home. I do not want to be here.
I mean, it's like you have to like emotionally prepare yourself because
Yeah.
like
you have to like
it's just
have a performance
a
happening.
lot
for, like,
of energy is about to be thrown at you
Yeah.
for the next 8
and you
hours.
have to admit a lot of energy. Like,
yeah,
like-
and like there's always going to be someone that's like, I've been waiting. And I'm like, yeah, so has he. Like, I know how, I've been tracking this. Have you not seen me? Oh my God.
Yeah.
People always think that they're like the
unicorn.
Yeah, I'm like, you're not special.
Yeah.
I know your mom told you were, but she lied. You're not. You're
Yeah.
just like every other fucking asshole here. I promise.
Yeah.
You want a vodka soda, and he wants a Bud Light. I know this.
Yeah. Like,
it's Saturday night. Let me do this.
like, yeah, like, I'm sorry. I think I would just be like, I'm sorry, are you new here?
Someone came in one time and, God, this might be the worst customer story, actually. She sent back her lemon drop shot because it didn't taste the same as the one the other bartender made. And I just went over to the other bartender and I was like, you have to make her lemon drop shot because if I remake this, it's going to be 60% saliva. I can't. I was just like so shocked that someone would send back a lemon drop shot.
I think I would be like, I'm sorry, I need to see your ID because you are obviously not of legal drinking age.
I was like, I was speechless with that one.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. I'm usually pretty quick with the like retorts, but this one really like floored me. I was like, you're not actually asking me to remake this, are you? That's not possible.
That's not real. I'm like, again, let's do a quick turn around, look at your surroundings.
Oh, man. Someone asked me what my signature cocktail was the other night, and I said whiskey in a glass. And he was like, okay, I'll have one of those. Fair enough.
Great.
Like, okay, you can stay.
Perfect. Thank you.
I heard a really expensive whiskey, too.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Made the money, didn't have to shake anything. Oh my God. Have you ever had to burn all the ice?
Oh, yes.
I fucking did I haven't broken a glass.
Yeah, I haven't personally like broken a glass, but I've had like been on a shift where someone has.
Okay, well, good for you. I mean, you live with me. You know I've broken a glass or several. I broke one in the fucking ice the last Saturday.
Oh,
and he had just filled it.
Oh, Jesus.
This wasn't my fault though. This was like, I think I was shaking a drink and the glass must have already been like, something was wrong with the glass and I just didn't see like a crack or something because when I put it in the metal one and just like whacked it, it broke in there.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like getting like cut myself.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
So this one wasn't my fault and that's why it was like. But I was standing right there because I just gotten the ice and like smacked it on and like just in my hands it just broke. I was like, oh fuck.
See, that's something you couldn't have gotten away with. You cannot put a cup into ice for that exact reason.
No. The metal thing.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't do not the glass.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that because I will be the one that breaks a fucking glass in there and then you have to burn it.
Yeah.
No, we have like little scoopers, but with the like shaker, the metal part, because the only thing that goes in there is ice. And then you shake it and wash it.
We also weren't allowed to do it because it wasn't like clean enough. Like we had to use the scooper so that the ice maintained.
I mean, I'm sure I'm supposed to use the scooper.
But yeah, that's the difference between corporate and not corporate. And I know all about it because I was on the safety team. Because when you were on the safety team, you got like 85% off your bill when you would go to the restaurant.
Oh my God.
So I was like,
you only ate at this restaurant.
I know, I was like in my 20s and like Or like every time I had a shift, I could like order like something off the kids' meal and pay like $1.20 and have like a full meal.
That's really funny.
Yep. I just had to go to a meeting once a month. I was like, yeah, this is totally worth it for basically free food.
Watch me make this worth it.
Yeah. Yep. Let me tell you.
Game on. I may be small, but I can pack it away.
Yep.
I want this meal and this meal to go. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Also, like, don't they feed you when you're working?
No, because your shifts are so short. Yeah. If like when I worked at like a family-run place, they fed us, even though our shifts were short. They always had like a family meal. Honestly, I think the best part of working in restaurants is getting to eat the food, like in a way that like customers don't get to, like
a little gremlin in the background.
Like I worked at this Cuban restaurant and we served bread with garlic butter, both like made in house. And it was so good, and I would just like bring something out to a table, come back, slather on like some garlic butter, eat some bread.
Your emotional support garlic butter.
Like honestly, and like how was I getting tips reeking of garlic? But we also called, so it was an open kitchen. And it was Cuban, so lots of garlic and lots of onions. And so we would leave the restaurant just reeking of garlic and onions.
You had to like wash your hair like twice a day.
Yeah, and like your clothes and just like everything, like you just go home. And we would go out after work and we used to call it that Cuban aroma because we would get hit on more than anything.
They're like, these bitches can cook.
Yeah, they're like, garlic and onions, what are you up to? And the worst part, our uniform was like a button-down, like, white shirt with a tie and black pants, like, very cater waiter, circa, like, 2010.
Like, party down over here.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was this little, like, mom and pop. There was more than one of them, but, yeah, oh my god, and then the rice and beans. And then I used to, we served flan that we also like made in-house and in these little ramekins, and so you had to like scrape a knife along the side to like loosen it and then pop it out onto a plate, and then a little whipped cream, little drizzle, little strawberry, whatever. But that was the server's job, which was super annoying. But I would when I sliced it, I would do it just a little too not
leaving
close
leaving a little for yourself and from their dessert. Oh my god!
And then afterwards, I would eat the rest of it. So I was just like I mean, bread and garlic and rice and beans and flan just all day long. So good.
To be 22.
And then the chef.
Not be 300 pounds.
Seriously. So much bread.
I just gained 5 pounds hearing that story.
Well, and chef, loved me, so he loved that I would eat like that, so he would feed me all the time, so he would, be like, oops, I accidentally cooked too much paella, and, put it into go-to container and hide it in the back for me.
Oh my gosh.
That was the best part about working in restaurants, was, getting to eat all the food.
Yeah, I've never worked in a restaurant. I've only done bars.
Yeah, restaurants are fun for that reason. And it's just, you're working with more people.
I don't like people, though.
Well, I don't either, but, but you tend to, like at least some of the people you work with. I'm still friends with people that I'm still friends with quite a few, well, maybe not quite a few, but I'm still friends with people from, every restaurant I've worked at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm friends with people from all my past gigs.
Yeah, it's just the people that come into where you're working that are terrible.
Because they haven't been properly trained.
Yeah, and full circle, I think it should be a requirement to, have to wait tables and bartend and, work
customer service of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retail even.
Oh my god, retail is even more thankless.
Oh my god.
Because you don't even get tips for that. You're just fucking
folding shirts
slave to this. I worked at Nordstrom in California. It was my first retail job, and I was the fitting room attendant.
Oh, fun.
It was...
Yeah.
Like, you're just trapped in this little closet,
Yep.
and then you're folding clothes, and then if all the clothes are folded and ready to go back, you have to go, like, tidy up the racks. So I used to, because I hated doing that, I used to just fold and unfold and refold and unfold and refold all the clothes so that I never had to leave the little room.
Oh my gosh. You know what I was thinking about that we didn't have to deal with? The fact that there's cameras everywhere now.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't get it, because I used to do stuff like that too, like hide in the back for as long as possible. Now there's cameras everywhere. They'd be like, Jen,
Yeah, you're
we
fired.
see you. Go get on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, go do your job.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get paid enough for that.
I mean, I'm sure Nordstrom had cameras, but that probably just
But like
wasn't.
in a like security purpose, not in a like monitoring sort of way.
Yeah,
that they
like,
have now.
I'm sure that the brass plum fucking
Oh my god, yes. Was that the
Fitting-
fitting room you worked?
yeah.
The brass plum fitting room?
yeah,
I'm
fitting
pretty...
room attendant was not high on the priority
Yeah.
list of
No.
monitoring.
No, they weren't that worried. I only worked retail for like 2 weeks during, like as a holiday hire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as long as I left. Like I had
2
already
weeks.
been a server. I had already been a
Mhm.
bartender. I like had done years of that, and then so I was like, oh, let's do retail. Like a friend,
Yeah.
like they were hiring for the holidays, and he was like, and you could stay on. I did 2 weeks for holidays,
Heck no.
and I was like, I am done.
I mean, I think retail's worse, to be honest.
Yeah, because you don't get tips.
You don't get tips.
Like,
And
at
people
least-
are still as horrible to you. Like,
Yeah.
maybe even, like, more so because they don't, like, it's not, like, the exchange that you're going to have with them isn't
Yeah.
quite as, like, scripted. Like, if you're a
Well-
waiter or a bartender, like, obviously we have to talk for
Yeah.
you to get your thing. So, like, but as, like, a retail
Yeah, there's
person.
there's a script. There's a
Yeah.
a sort of like
Like,
known
we know what this-
social interaction. Yeah.
But as a fitting room, or not a fitting room person, who the fuck cares about them?
Yeah.
But retail in general.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
other
like-
than when like if you're like just the cashier, if you're
Yeah.
just working the counter, but the way we worked is we floated, and so because
Yeah.
they wanted it to be more personalized. So and this was at the Beverly Center.
Oh, God.
So, like, already you're attracting a certain type of clientele, and it's the holidays, so it's, like, the worst of the worst. I remember Dane Cook came in and, like, thought he was, like, this was, like, in, like, the early 2000s, and he thought he was, like, hot
Shit.
shit.
Yeah.
And I pointed him to the sale rack, which I thought was really funny, and he did not think was funny at all.
Oh, come on.
I'm like, come on!
You're a comedian.
That's what I think he was mad about, that I was funnier than him.
Dane Cook had a couple zingers that permeated the
I was gonna say, for that era, he was like, he like had a little like
he had a moment.
He was obviously I knew who he was. He was recognizable.
I mean, that hair, he had
Yeah.
him, like, he looks like a friggin' anime character.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I thought it was really funny. He didn't like get me in trouble or anything. It wasn't like bad, but I just was not amused. I was like, damn, that was really funny.
It could have gone either way.
Like, just having to like get people's shoes to try on and feed and gross. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, ew, no, I never did shoes.
Yeah, we had shoes, we had clothes, we had all the things. So, awful.
I one time served Shaggy.
Hilarious.
I totally didn't recognize him,
That's really funny.
but I think that's the only, like, famous person that I've ever... Shaggy was really nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I did wait on, I don't remember which coach it was, but USC's football coach.
Oh, fuck SC. I went to UCLA.
Because they were in the Rose Bowl. And so they came in to have like a team dinner or something at the restaurant I was working at. So, and after he left, I found his black Amex on the floor.
Oh my God.
In the like private room that he was in, and I was like, pulled my manager aside. I was like, so Vegas, right? Like where are we going? Like, and he's like, oh my God, we have to call him. So we like call him, and I'm like standing there with him, and I was like, hey, are you missing something? He was like, what are you? I was like, well, Brad and I here are like about to plan a trip to Vegas on this black Amex. So
that's what I don't understand, because famous people have had these stupid jobs.
Yeah.
So when they're assholes, that makes me bummed, because like then it makes me feel like maybe enforced servitude would not
does not work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because some people do have that attitude of like, I had to deal with it, so now you have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like those people.
Yeah, those people are super annoying. It's like, oh, I do this job too, so like I know how to do it better. And they're like, I don't care.
It's so annoying. It's just, why? Why do you have to be mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like generational trauma. Let's break the cycle.
Seriously, like, tip your bartenders and servers and just be nice to them.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you don't know how to tip, ask.
Yeah. Most places, it's not that hard. Move the fucking decimal point over one and then
double it. Yeah.
Done. Like, it's adding.
Or if you're paying cash, tip $1 a drink.
Yeah.
$2 if they have to shake it. And you will get served faster. It works.
Yeah, it does.
If you're not tipping, I am not looking for you anymore.
Yeah.
Except to avoid you.
And if you're quiet, that's fine too. We're not going to forget you. We're going to remember.
Yeah.
Also probably because you're the probably nicest person in the bar, so.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who's just like on his phone in the corner, drinking his Bud Lights, not causing a problem.
Yeah.
That guy, his glass is never empty.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, like, we've just really lost I joked about it, like, coming out of quarantine, like, that I was feral and I didn't know how to act. But, like, something really shifted.
It is true. It has
society,
gotten crazier.
Like, is feral now.
Yeah, like, people don't know how to interact with, like, human beings.
No.
Anymore.
Do not know how to act.